Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. This is Julia.
Hello.
Today on our podcast, we're going to be talking about anxiety and depression.
Emma, have you ever heard of the term of like, I only have like so many spoons, or like, I'm down to my last spoon?
Yes. Well, no, I actually realized I haven't heard that expression ever. But just thinking about anxiety and depression and saying that, like, I completely know where you're about to go, but go because some people might not.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea is like, I kind of think of it like in video games. So it's like your emotional mana, I guess. And let's say on a day where you feel like you can handle anything,
Mm-hmm.
that's like you have a lot of spoons. But on days where it's like, I don't know if I can handle anything more than surviving, you have like no spoons left. So I thought, hey, let's start this off with how many spoons out of 5 do you feel like you have today, Emma?
What a great way to start this off. Today, I feel like I have like 2.5 to 3 spoons out of 5.
That's pretty good.
Today's a good day, and I'm very grateful for it.
Nice.
Some days I wake up and I feel like I have -5 spoons.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do that too. Yeah. And I think a lot of us do, but we don't talk about it. Whether it is kind of that hopeless feeling
Mm.
and like why do I exist kind of feeling with depression, or if it's that wake up and oh my gosh, so many thoughts in my head, overwhelmed to the point where I have negative spoons because I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm just like, I don't know where this came from, but this is what's going on.
Yeah, no, totally. I feel like the annoying thing is that it all feels like it's perspective.
For some reason we can't change our perspective in that moment, and it's like, come on, like, I know intellectually that this does not have to be going on, right? But for
Mhm.
some reason, physically, emotionally, mentally, every aspect of me is like, how do I get out of this? I can't. I don't know how.
So, in those kinds of moments, what do you feel like helps you cope?
For me, like, there are things that I can do throughout my days that can help me not get to that place. But on my worst days, I can do as much as, you know, run, eat well, all the things, but it won't get me out of where I am mentally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No matter what I do, those things don't help. One of my, biggest coping mechanisms is reaching out to people and like being honest with them. And then once I've said something to someone, this is just too hard and I don't know what's going on. Just saying that to someone and like being super vulnerable about it when I'm in that place is usually something that will help me calm down. It won't get me fully out of, whatever feelings I'm having.
Just being able to like tell someone just like calms you, and just like having that kind of, I'd imagine, just like acknowledgement of your like validation of your feelings.
Yeah. And like feeling like I'm not alone in it,
Yes.
knowing that that's going on. But some days, the idea of even trying to reach out to someone is too overwhelming.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're in that either hopeless or overwhelmed state?
So I feel like for me, aside from like again reaching out to people, which can be hard, there's like some podcasts that I've found are actually helpful because it's the same thing of like people talking about their experience. And so often with like depression or just mental illness in general, you're convinced that you're the only one, and that it's,
You're all alone in it.
yeah.
I can't explain it to anyone. No one else deals with
Yeah,
this.
no one's ever felt this way before. Honestly, reaching out to people is, for me, the best thing I can do. And I feel like creating a support structure of people that are willing to talk and like listen is really important.
Yeah, I think so too. So my next question for you, I
Mm.
mean, if you don't have any other coping mechanisms.
No.
No, no, I don't. I wish I did, but I don't know. But my next question for you is, what do you think, like, what are your, because this isn't in my opinion, this is an epidemic. Like, anytime I mention either anxiety or depression to someone, like 90% of the time they'll be like, oh yeah, me too. And I'm like, okay, well, so then if we're all experiencing these things, one, my first question, what do you think is causing this? I mean, because I don't hear about, I mean, besides my mom, like, I don't hear about a lot of people who have experienced this in, like, back in the day, you know? And I'm wondering if it was because, like, life was harder, so they didn't have as much time to think, or, like, maybe they didn't talk about it because, you know, they felt ashamed, and so they were experiencing it, but no one talked about it. Like, I wonder what is the cause. I've thought possibly technology, because we isolate ourselves and, you know, create fake personas, and then we feel this super heavy, like, I have to keep up that image so I can't reach out. Because, like we're both saying, when we're feeling super gnarly, if we find the power to, like, reach out, it usually gets better. So in your opinion?
I think it's been around forever. And I think that, because I think I was depressed like for like a very like long, like before like AOL Instant Messenger
Yeah.
existed. And I know other people, like mental illness is in like my family. So I don't know that it's necessarily like, I think it's more just like it's becoming more okay to acknowledge it, and
Mm-hmm.
just society's view of it is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, there's so many famous figures like Sylvia Plath and Vincent van Gogh and like all these people that obviously suffered from some kind of mental illness. And so I think it's just honestly like a change in mentality and an acknowledgement of validity of your life doesn't have to suck so bad. I don't know. It's because I don't know. I feel like lately I feel like society is trying to like find your bliss and take care of yourself and wellness, but it's hard when so much of at least Western society is like productivity until you die.
Dude, such a huge issue of mine, for sure. That feeling that I'm not doing enough is, like, way in my mind all the time. Like, if I take a moment to rest, it's hard to rest, which is what our bodies need to restore. But, like, when I'm trying to rest, I start to think of all the things that I'm supposed to be doing, or I should maybe do,
Mm,
when there's nothing going on, you know? But it's like this hyperactivity that is, like, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
yeah. See, I do that. So actually what I do is I am so intimidated by all of the things that I know I have to do that I hide from them and I don't do anything. And I'm like, oh, I'm taking care of myself. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, you didn't do the things that you were supposed to do. Ha, caught you. You're bad. And then I'm upset with myself. So it's
Yeah.
like, I didn't make a decision either way. I
Yeah.
just, did both and was upset with myself for half a decision, I guess.
You're speaking, it's like you're talking to the
Yeah. So going back to what you were saying is like I was going to bring this up too. I don't know that I have any close friends that don't have some sort of mental illness. And I
Yeah.
don't know if maybe that's because we just find each other, if maybe like being like queer and in drama and like we just like I've just found them. But it,
You know, in my opinion, I mean, yes, we all, like-minded people flock together. Like, we find each other for sure. But the whole anxiety and depression thing, I have met people that I don't know, you know, that, like, on the street, you know, and mention something about anxiety. And they're like, oh, yeah, me too. Like, it's not close friends for me. It's like most people I come in contact with can either relate because they know someone, or they themselves struggle with one, the other, or both, you know? And so it really just seems like it's crazy, you know, because in my opinion, our lives are so good. Like, at least for me, like, my life is a beautiful one. And
Mhm.
so the days that I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to exist because it just seems too hard, it's like mentally, I know, like, that's crazy because life is so good right now. Why do I feel like this?
It's not for lack of gratitude or lack of understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just is.
it just is. I honestly can't, like, talking about like speaking to someone, like therapy for me is I think we were talking about coping skills and I forgot to talk about, hey, therapy's really good.
Yeah, no, it is. And I knew we would get there eventually because it's the way we destroy old patterns
Oh, that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah.
and we learn new ones. We learn new ways of thinking instead of constantly being in fight or flight because, I've heard that, you're in that constant state of fight or flight, right? So there's anxiety.
Mm.
When you're in such an anxious state for so long, there comes depression right behind, and so it's like this cycle. So that's why a lot of people experience both anxiety and depression because it's this, they go hand in hand,
Mm-hmm.
highs and the lows. And so with therapy, with a good therapist, you it's like training. It's training your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like
So,
those silly mind like video games, but yeah, no, it literally, and it's hard.
oh yeah. Yeah.
It's annoying how hard it is.
It is annoying how hard it is. But like it's worth it, I think. I mean, I know it's worth it. I think it's just different for everyone and it's a journey for everyone. So
It
finding
is.
a therapist and like deciding if medication's right for you, like not just jumping right in it, but
Yeah. And even finding the right medication is a journey
I know, I've heard.
because
Yeah, I think our time is up. But Julia, it was so good talking with you.
same. Have a great day, Emma.
Julia, I'll see you later.
Bye.